Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we've said many times, you must never believe anything in politics until it has been officially denied. And they are denying here. This is a case about Nicola Sturgeon's arrest, and they are now claiming that the Scottish Government was kept in the dark officially about Nicola Sturgeon's arrest. And they're claiming that Parliament weren't told until after the arrest had taken place. And then when you read the article, we'll go through the article, but when you think, it's very specific in its terminology. It is being very strictly true with what it says. And I don't believe a word of, I believe what it says, but I don't believe a word of the spirit of what it says. I think the words have been chosen with extreme care. I think it was undoubted that people knew she was going to be arrested before she was arrested. Certainly she knew. And she knew when Peter Murrell was about to be arrested, because she was all ready to go, had a bag in hand and walked out. Nobody on when a police go to a property like that is ever allowed to leave. And yet, strangely, she was. This is absolute stinking. But I think here we have them in a lie. We probably can't prove the lie, but I think it is obvious. Anyway, we'll take a look at this article, see what is going on. Here goes. So, the Scottish Government allegedly kept in the dark over Nicola Sturgeon's arrest as police failed to discuss the case with ministers. And this is where I think the careful use of language lies. The SNP executive's top Mandarin, JP Marks, was told by cops about the First Minister's arrest after she'd been taken into custody. New documents show. Okay, well, let's have a look at these documents. The Scottish Government was kept in the dark over the arrest of Nicola Sturgeon. New documents have revealed the executive's top Mandarin, JP Marks, was only informed that the former First Minister had been taken into custody by cops after it happens. Well, they officially only told him after it happened. The Scottish Daily Mail can reveal, the Scottish Daily Express, the Scottish Daily Express can reveal that Operation Branchform was not noted as being discussed in 11 meetings held between the Chief Constable and the Justice Secretaries so far in 2023. And this included a top secret meeting at Holyrood between Sir Ian Livingstone and Keith Brown. Now, we need to discuss what goes on here. When they have these meetings, usually they will have the minister and whoever the policeman is, or the minister and whoever the minister's meeting. There will also be in that room a secretary, and that secretary will be minuting the meeting. And when the meeting is minuted, they then write that up formally and have a formal minutes of the meeting. So they take notes, then they give the formal minutes of the meeting. The minutes do not reflect everything that was discussed. They only reflect what the person writing the minutes chose to put into the minutes. And so the claim that these things were not discussed is not strictly speaking true. Now, we've got no way of knowing whether they were discussed or not. But just because they weren't in the minutes doesn't mean that they weren't discussed. And that's only what was discussed in the meeting. Before the meeting formally starts and after the meeting formally ends, there may have been a little friendly word. Well, we're all done with the meeting. Would you like a little brandy or something? Thank you, Miss Jones, that will do. And Miss Jones leaves. By the way, says Sir Ian, I'm going to be arresting Sturgeon on Sunday. There's no doubt that has happened. But just because it's not in the meeting doesn't mean it's there. Anyway, in a document released to the paper, Mr. Marks emailed Humza Yousaf and his two top advisors to provide written evidence about his involvement in Miss Sturgeon's arrest on Sunday, June the 11th. In it, he also urges the First Minister to stonewall any potential media questions about the incident. In other words, whatever you do, keep your mouth shut, don't say anything, pretend you don't know. There we go. By saying that, it becomes completely clear that they did know and they're trying to get the story straight. He wrote, I am writing to record that I spoke to Chief Constable of Police Scotland this morning and subsequently to the First Minister. The CC called to advise of further PS action relating to Operation Branchform, this time with respect to the former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon. The latest PS action had already occurred earlier before I spoke to the CC. He's getting his ducks in a row. He's writing this memo all of a sudden, out of the blue. I'm doing this and making sure it goes down. My version of events, the official version of the events, not necessarily the events, but what I'm putting down to cover my arse, because this is Operation COA, straight up. The investigation remains live, he said, and the CC iterated his advice for no public comment at this time as investigations continue. As below, in terms of any and all liaison from SG ministers or SG officials on Operation Branchform, I've agreed with the CC this should be via me only, without exception, so that he can control the narrative, he can control what information goes out there, and that no one will be allowed to say, yeah, but we knew about it in advance. This is a cover-up. This has all the classic signs of a cover-up and a conspiracy. You'd have to be blind not to see what's going on. The arrest of Miss Sturgeon in relation to the police probe into the SNP finances sent shockwaves around the world and was picked up by international media outlets, including CNN. She was later released without charge and has repeatedly proclaimed her innocence. No, she's repeatedly claimed that she feels she is innocent, and if you look at the words, that's important too. Language, so important. She was the third nationalist figure to be arrested by cops who are now looking into potential embezzlement and misuse of funds. And it wouldn't surprise me either. No one has yet been charged in relation to this, although some in the party believe it is inevitable that charges will be brought. Her husband, Peter Murrell, who she threw under the bus, and we did the video on that, when she was going, I'm innocent, but I can't speak for Peter. Seriously, if that was my wife, I'd divorce her. It's not husband and wife. Marriage of convenience, a lavender marriage, so that he can each go off and be with who they want to be. Don't know why. There's nothing wrong with it, you know. And when you consider that virtually every woman in politics in Scotland is a lesbian, not all, but an awful lot of them, why is she so shy and coy about it? Very odd, isn't it? Anyway, it was also revealed that neither Mr Brown nor his replacement as Justice Secretary Angela Constance discussed Operation Branchform with Sir Ian Livingstone. This is in the minutes, you see. Not that they didn't discuss it, only that it wasn't minuted. The former held 5 meetings while the latter met top cop 6 times. I don't believe that these people sat there fully aware of what was going on, fully aware of all the implications and ramifications of what was happening, and were sitting with the top cop, who is undoubtedly liaisoning with everyone with regards to this matter, and didn't ask anything or weren't told anything. It is inconceivable that this was the case. Officials confirm, now that they've all had a nice little talk about it and they're holding the party line, that no live criminal cases were discussed. Rumours... Oh, so that means that dead criminal cases were discussed then, were they? Rumours had started that the police had tipped off Mr Brown about the forthcoming raid on the marital home of Murrell and Sturgeon, and this had led to the former First Minister resigning. There was no way she would have not, resigned simply on a matter of politics. She was too hard-skinned for that. She knew this was coming. It was plainly obvious that she knew this was coming, and that is why she went. Also, because of various investigations and that, and being the minister when one thing happened and then not being a minister, she wouldn't be subjected to certain parliamentary scrutiny because she was no longer the minister, and it was very complex. But that is undoubtedly why she went. However, this has been dismissed by Sir Ian Livingstone, the only single top cop in Scotland, no other chief constable, the only chief constable in Scotland of a unified police force, unified for the single reason of having one policeman who could be controlled, perhaps. Further documents published by the Scottish Government show that Mr Yousaf's team also rejected interview requests for the day after his mentor and former boss resigned, because he hadn't been briefed and brought in on what to say, how to present it, and how to basically... This is what happened, but this is what we say happened. We've scrubbed the minutes, we've rewritten them, nothing's there, nothing was discussed, everybody knows nothing. Keep your mouth shut. And that's the line they went. And if anyone doubts that, then I have a bridge to sell you. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll come up and we will round this off and I will move on. Thank you. Now, I'm presuming that my audience generally are intelligent enough to be able to see a wrong 'un when they see one. This smacks of lies and cover up. Nobody believes a word of what's just gone down in that article. We know the SNP are lying liars who lie continually, and there's no reason why they should all of a sudden start telling the truth over this. Put your comments in. I want to see your comments. Do you think that this is true, or do you think this is a pack of lies? Do let me know. I have a feeling it's going to be 99% one way, and I think we all know which way it's going to be. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, do please hit the subscribe button, and really do. We want to get it up a bit more. We're at 35% now of regular viewers who are subscribed. We want to get it up to try and get to 40, hopefully by the end of the month. So it would be nice there. That's a nice little target to reach. We'll get 40% of my regulars subscribed. As for the rest of you, thank you very much for watching, and do consider subscribing. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and never believe a pack of lies like this. They can't help themselves, the SNP, can they? They just lie. Bye.